Let's start Milwaukee, Atlanta. You know I've told you I thought Milwaukee would win it in 5. And in any business, in any relationship, you're only as good as your answers. Any relationship, any team, any business with a lot of questions is not that great. I want answers. Milwaukee's a much better team. I don't want to hear about Trae Young's ankle. Milwaukee gives me answers and guarantees. Giannis is an automatic 30 and 13 every night. Depth, every night. Milwaukee. Defense, check. Milwaukee. They're a bigger, stronger, more experienced physical team. Check, check, check. Milwaukee. Here's all you have to say to sum up this series. We're surprised when Chris Middleton or Drew Holiday has a really bad night. It's like, whoa, you don't see that much. With Atlanta, we're shocked if Bogdan Bogdanovic has a great night or Kevin Huerter has a great night. That's the series. When the Bucks lose, it's because something we depend on and are used to, a really good veteran player, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, good veteran players. And say great, good. They have a bad night. We're like, whoa, well, Chris Middleton was bad. But he's not always as good as he was last night in the fourth, but he's always good. He's a very solid 2, probably a 3 on a great team. Atlanta is essentially Portland. They're Dallas. They have an unbelievable young guard that can just go crazy. But you never really know what you're getting from the other guys. And Atlanta's one win over Milwaukee, Trae Young goes for 48 points and 11 assists and 7 rebounds, and they win by 3. In the night that Trae Young didn't play well, they got absolutely torched by Milwaukee. And that's the reality. I said this Friday. Atlanta in the East, you can have an unbelievable guard. Trae Young, Steph Curry, Dame Lillard. Like one of these just incredible young players. In the East, that'll get you to the conference finals. In the West, you sneak into the playoffs and you get bounced. That's the difference. That's the difference between Pac-12 football and SEC football. I mean, that's the difference between the NFC West and the NFC East, is that Atlanta's a great Eastern story. But there's outside of Trae Young, I don't get any guarantees. It's Trae Young and cross your fingers. Milwaukee's a really, really good team. I wouldn't go great, but they're certainly in the class of that Raptors team that won a couple of years ago, the team that Joy loved and called her shot very early. They're in that class that if they get a break and the Suns got to the finals or the Clippers and guys got hurt, they could absolutely win it. You don't think Atlanta can win this thing? I mean, how many points would Dame have to score for Portland to win it? 70? What would you have to get from Trae Young every night to win this series and win the championship? 48, 53? So it's just, you're talking about depth, Milwaukee. Size, they dominated the boards again last night, 50-35, Milwaukee. Experience, Milwaukee. Number of guys who can drop 18 to 20 points, Milwaukee. Been here before, Milwaukee. I don't want to hear about Trae Young's injury. Great player, it happens. Smaller athlete, steps on an ankle, boom, foot, turns an ankle. That's life. Look around, that's the playoffs. You got to overcome. Milwaukee's had to overcome some stuff. Giannis isn't very confident at the free throw line. Everybody's got to overcome something. I mean, even Phoenix, the hottest team in the NBA right now, COVID, Chris Paul. You got to be able to overcome. If Atlanta can't overcome a twisted ankle by Trae Young, you shouldn't be in the NBA Finals. But make no mistake here. The teams in all sports that give you more guarantees and more answers are the better team. They're not always as fun to watch. They don't necessarily always have the best young player. They have stretches where they don't always fulfill your promises. This is the Bucks series. This is the team I picked to get to the finals. And for the record, I didn't pick them because they had the best players. I picked them for 2 reasons. We all dismissed them, so there was no pressure. And secondly, none of their guys ever get hurt. And they haven't. And that's why they're here. All right, so this is an interesting story. Damian Lillard, one of the most loyal, great players, one of the great smallish players in NBA history. There are rumors he's unhappy in Portland. Now, I am not going to breach my confidence. A few weeks ago, I was on social, and Damian Lillard DM'd me. I'm not going to tell you what Dame said. I'll tell you what I said. You deserve the best. I like Portland. I worked there for a long time. Great city. I'm not going to tell you what he DM'd me, but I'm going to tell you what I said to him. You are too good. You deserve the best. Wherever that best is, if Portland can get you the best, you deserve it. But Dame Lillard is going to play in the Olympics, and I want to talk about that. So the Olympics are like the world's greatest AAU team. All the best players in the world get together in Olympic years. And they're going to go to Vegas and hang out, that long flight to Tokyo, and you really become close friends. Keep your eye on Jason Tatum and Bradley Beal. They're bros. They're close. Well, I'd put money on them playing together next year because Beal wants out. Jason Tatum wants a 2. Jaylen Brown's a tradable piece. And Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum, in my opinion, would be favored to win the East next year. They're going to the Olympics together. Now, I want you to think of Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, for as great as he is, this is his first time hanging out with the big guys. And remember LeBron? Oh, he loved Cleveland. He was happy in Cleveland. He was loyal to Cleveland. Akron's finest. And then the Redeem team. He went to the Olympics, and Bosch was on the team, and D-Wade was on the team. Well. They signed. Remember 2000, it was like, let me look this up. 2000, what was it the year with Kyrie? 2016? Kyrie, KD, and DeAndre Jordan were on the Olympic team together. They hung out. And then they all signed with the Nets on the same day. That's the way it works. And Dame is very unique. Wasn't wildly recruited in high school. Right? Like went to Weber State where he was mostly anonymous. You didn't watch him play. People in Utah didn't watch him play. And then he goes to geographically isolated Portland. So he's never really, he's the best player in the NBA who's never been part of the club. He didn't go to a big school, didn't go to a big college. He's not in one of these areas with several pro teams that train right away. He's out there in Portland. And now Dame, for the first time in his life, gets to go to the 5-star restaurant. And it is hard to go back to Sizzler. He is finally getting an opportunity. He's finally going to get the accolades. He's finally going to get the love. He's finally going to prove to everybody, which most of us who watch the league know, he's one of the great players in the last 10 years in the league. This is an all-time talent, all-time great player. And I am not somebody that just roots for mobility at all costs. I thought Kevin Durant leaving Steph Curry to Kyrie was a mistake. But I've been mobile, and I support mobile. And I especially support mobile when 9 drafts and 9 free agency periods, 9 plus 9, 18 opportunities to get him a star, they haven't. And now he goes, as he's frustrated, it just happens to be the year. He's going to go to Vegas, hang out with the fellas, long flight to Tokyo. Because of COVID, the players will probably hang out more together like the bubble. They're not going to be out on the town. If he leaves, I can't blame him. I always root for Portland. I love Portland, but I can't blame him. 9 free agent opportunities, 9 drafts, and they can't get him a dependable 2. I like C.J. McCollum. He should be a 3, maybe a 4 in a great team. So keep your eye on this story. To me, there are 2 teams, and I'll talk about that later. There are 2 teams that make a lot of sense that I think if I was the GM of Portland, I would sign off on it. And I know these 2 teams would love to have it. There's a lot of talk about a lot of teams. There are 2 that make a ton of sense. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.